Dr. Akshay Agrawal, Professor Ravichandran, distinguished fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen. I am in the company of academicians, and like them, if I try to speak extempo, my speech will be too short or too long. So, with your permission, I will read out my speech, which I have prepared for the purpose. At the outset, I am grateful to Sri Hasmukh Adia and the Organizing Committee of International Conference for Academic Institutions, which is being arranged as part of 6th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, for inviting me to this session. I am delighted to be here amongst distinguished participants. When Sri Adia invited me to be a panel speaker for this discussion, I was rather unsure given my travel commitments and the time constraints. As I started working on this talk, I realized how rich and relevant this topic is. I also reached out to eminent personalities such as Dr. R. A. Mashelkar, Dr. Bakul Dhodakia, and Professor Anil Gupta. I am grateful to them for their inputs and support. Building innovation ecosystem through Center of Excellence is timely, as innovation dominates the narrative and conversations globally as well as in India. The power of the idea that science, technology, and innovation need to be seamlessly integrated has been driving the strategies around the world for over a decade now. Even the names of the ministries of science and technology in countries such as Argentina, Australia, Denmark, Malaysia, South Africa, Spain, UK, etc., have been changed over the last decade with the word innovation explicitly included in the ministry. The European Union had declared 2009 as a year of creativity and innovation for EU, as it attempts to develop and position itself as an innovation union. Closer to home, India has declared the decade 2010 to 2020 as the Indian decade of innovation. Globally, countries and industries are recognizing the power of innovation to create social and economic transformation and growth that is not just accelerated but inclusive as well. In India too, there is growing acknowledgement that research and innovation must go together. India's world ranking on innovation belies its increasing economic power and global standing. The World Economic Forum produced an innovation capacity index for 134 countries in 2008. India stood at 35th position on that index as against Brazil 27th, China 25th, UK 14th, South Korea 9th, USA 6th, and Japan 2nd. At the same time, some of the Indian innovations, driven by the power of combination of need and aspiration, have been game-changing and are taught as case studies in world's leading academic institutions. Arvind Eye Care, which does a high-quality cataract eye surgery at 1,000th of the cost in USA, and Dr. Devi Shetty's Narayana Hridayalaya, which can do a highly quality heart surgery at 1/20th of the cost prevailing in USA, are excellent models of workflow innovation. Ashok Jhunjhunwala's wireless local loop technology and Vinay Deshpande's mobile personal computer, Mobilis, are homeborn ideas which were, however, commercialized in Brazil and Malaysia before India owing to structural challenges. What are some of the building blocks of an innovation ecosystem that would fructify such ideas into commercial success? I will speak more about this a little later in the talk. Centers of excellence as platforms to catalyze innovation are not new and operate within both industries and academic institutions. In the context of industries, Tata's Nano car, one of the most inexpensive cars in the world at $2,500, that marries fuel efficiency, emission standards, and comfort is a prime example of indigenous research and development within an industrial house. By and large, such centers of excellence housed within industries are likely to be oriented towards maximizing return on investment, largely by inter alia reducing cost and improving efficiency. It is heartening to note that increasing numbers of such successful initiatives also have public good as a prime objective. This is where I situate the need to accelerate development of centers of excellence within academic institutions of higher education. I believe that such centers, when seeded and nurtured within educational institutions, can develop innovative products and services that can benefit society in addition to being commercially viable as well. In my talk today, I will focus more on the modus operandi for developing such centers of excellence within academic institutions, some essential elements that need to be in place for such centers to flourish, and finally, a couple of examples of existing centers of excellence in India. Knowledge partnerships between industry and academia can play a pivotal role in building and scaling a robust innovation ecosystem. And centers of excellence can be one relatively small but significant step in this initiative. In an increasingly competitive and global world, innovation is at the crux of business development. It is driven by knowledge and external stimulus. Companies are repositories of operational knowledge, capacity, and ability to transform and innovate. But significant transitions are rarely achieved through internal incubation alone. A strong innovation ecosystem supported by centers of excellence need to move beyond research labs and include idea incubators, angel investors, technology parks, robust intellectual property rights framework, effective regulatory system, and academics who look to research and public ideas addressing the real-world problem. Such an effort requires both researchers and knowledge partnerships through industry-academia linkages, areas with plenty of opportunities in India, as the following numbers indicate. For example, World Economic Forum 2008 report indicates that India ranks at 45th position as compared to China 23rd, Japan 21st, UK 9th, and USA first position on industry-academia relationships. Similarly, in 2006, the researchers in R&D per million people in India were 119, as against 715 in China and a staggering over 4,500 in USA. The expenditures on R&D in India is only 0.8% of GDP. The Kakodkar committee constituted to recommend strategies to improve technical education in the country has suggested significant increase in the research budget in every institution. We need to increase these numbers by an order of magnitude, for which both supply and demand need to increase. The government is trying to increase the supply by creating new Indian Institutes of Science, Education and Research, IITs, and central universities, which is laudable. The Government of India has also introduced the Universities for Research and Innovations Bill 2012. The Government of Gujarat needs to be complimented for taking various initiatives in developing educational institutions and fostering interface between industries and academic institutions. These include positive changes brought forward in the regulatory framework and actively playing the role of catalyst for developing an innovative ecosystem. Amongst the many ways that demand can grow, one is by stimulating policies that will induce enterprises to undertake more R&D. For example, India making its patent laws TRIPS compliant in 2005 has accelerated the Indian pharma industry's move from branded generics to creating new molecules, triggering a demand for many new PhDs. Thus, the innovation ecosystem can be catalyzed by continuing the efforts such as strengthening administrative support and implementing effective regulatory frameworks. Centers of excellence can work as bridges between academia and industry, speeding up innovation as well as commercializing research output at a much faster pace. Such collaborations between industry and business can trigger a virtuous cycle with a win-win situation for both institutions and businesses. While helping businesses develop solutions to problems, these centers can also help institutions develop contemporary, relevant case studies and provide research sites and opportunities to conduct and publish cutting-edge research. Such industry-academia interfaces can also serve as hubs to attract talent from both industry and academia to work on the most challenging, intractable problems of our times. IIM Ahmedabad, for instance, has built a Center for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship for incubating innovative ideas. The center's objective is to identify individuals with innovative ideas and provide them the enabling environment and support to translate that spark of an idea into a viable business. The center also identifies faculty relevant to the industry and facilitates in building an interdisciplinary team of faculty to assist the entrepreneur. Another example. Couple of other examples of industry-academia interface through centers of excellence includes National Institute of Design at Ahmedabad and the Society for Innovation and Development within the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. NID has instituted research chairs in design in collaboration with industry partners in areas such as textile and apparel design, product design innovations, color research, and design education and innovation. The aim of these initiatives is to foster original work in the field of design in India, complemented with commercial success. These research chairs allow the institution to translate the findings from research into design of products, services, processes, and systems relevant to both industry and society. On a similar note, the mission of Society for Innovation and Design at ISC Bangalore is also providing an enabling environment for the innovation in science and technology. A final example that I would like to highlight is a center of excellence housed inside a company. The Royal Dutch Shell Group, to which I belong to, recognize that there is an abundant talent available in India on the engineering side. In 2006, the Shell Technology Center, Bangalore, was set up as one of the three global hubs for technology after Houston and Amsterdam in the projects and technology business of Royal Dutch Shell Group. This center, designed to be a center of excellence, seeks to deliver advanced technical studies, projects, and services for Shell around the world. The services span upstream as well as downstream. The center works closely with Indian education institutions and intends to enhance the interface in future. To conclude, I would like to bring us back to innovation at the crux of this panel discussion. We have discussed much today about ways to support innovative ideas and provide these ideas with enabling environments that can help translate the potential into marketplace reality. However, I want to end on the point of ways in which, as a society, we can nurture many more blooming of such innovative ideas. And that foundation needs to be set at the school level. It is widely acknowledged globally through research and empirical evidences that the early years of a child's life, the preschool and primary phases, are the most creative. However, this curiosity and the natural inclination to think in an unrestrained manner, to imagine and to create, these are not adequately supported at the school level, both mainly at public but also at many private schools. So, as we think about the important point of creating and supporting innovation ecosystem at the higher education level, let us also look to strengthen the foundation that is a preschool and primary school level that supports such aspirations. Thank you.